Good day. This is our presentation on surveillance on social media by Christian Susopoli and Irfan Ali.
So what is surveillance? Surveillance is the monitoring of behavior, activities, or other changing information for the purpose of influencing, managing, directing, or protecting people. As you can see from the left and middle picture, our information is always being posted online, and there are always third-party organizations monitoring all the information that we always post online through social media. The far right picture basically shows a prisoner and one of us on a social media platform of any type. They draw resemblances by showing that both of us can't see the watcher, and both of us know that we're being watched. And also the final point would be that both of us are all alone within a crowd of people.
All right, so we have social media. That is a new platform that people can use to monitor. So we have the companies themselves that are collecting information from the users from like different social media, like for example, Facebook having like a huge database. And this data now is a new medium to collect on every single user that passed through this company.
Also in terms of Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, basically all the information that is stored from both of these, or all these social media sites, that includes pictures, even likes ratios, retweets on certain subjects, and even more or less trends that are going on currently. They're monitored by wide-scale companies, and these companies will store the data and basically have further use for them later on. Okay, so your personal information. Basically, it all starts when you sign up. So in terms of Facebook, Facebook will ask for your first name, surname, email, phone number, and basically your date of birth. What you don't know, however, is as you use Facebook, you will be required to enter in more information, and all this information is stored. In terms of also followers on Instagram, even on Twitter, there are basically softwares that are used to track down the follower content, who you are following. Basically, you can see the gender and age, as well as the location in which your followers reside.
So here we have an example of how your information can be misused and how easily your information can be accessed. This video is titled The Mind Reader.
Dag Fien. Dus kun je voelen? Voilà. Ik zie een school tegen Antwerpen.
Ja.
Insecten.
Dat blieft?
Ik voel 2 insecten op je rug. Kan dat?
Ja, vlinders.
Slovenie?
Zo hè.
Een moto. Oranje.
Pats erop.
Zenit.
Oui, bien.
Je hebt een vriendin. Julie de...
Ja.
Een boeiend liefdesleven. 3, 4 zelfs.
Die vierde, daar zwijg ik meestal over, dus dat weten niet veel mensen.
Hoe is het met je spierscheur? Une maison rouge, balcon blanc. Ja. Ik zie geld, ik zie transacties. Maar kent je rekeningnummer van buiten? Ik denk dat ik het wel weet. Je staat wel negatief op je bankrekening.
Ja?
9-7. Last month, you spent €200 on alcohol. Vorige maand €300 aan kleding gespendeerd. 8.
Ja.
5. Voor een huis dat van eigenaar gaat veranderen. €795.000.
Ja, eigenlijk.
41.
Ja.
Is dat juist?
Ja, dat is juist. Oh my god.
Oh nee. Ah, dat is, ik weet niet hoe eng.
So as you can see from the previous video, your information isn't really private. All of your data is saved online, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or even Snapchat. All of it will be saved onto a database. The database is basically controlled by these companies, and what they will do is they will trade this information for money. And on top of that, the businesses that buy this information, or whoever it is that buys this information, can use it to their own liking, whether that be marketing or even other business purposes, depending on how they wish to use the information.
So here we can see we have many stakeholders involved in this. So a stakeholder is a person with an interest or concern in something. In this case, we have the social media users themselves having their information online, the law around surveillance of social media, hackers who gain illegal access to users' information, and businesses where it be the company of the social media or the businesses that they sell information to.
Alright, so enabling your location while using any of the following social media apps, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even Snapchat, what this does is it allows these companies to monitor where you are when you're using this social media service. This is valuable information to certain companies because it will show basically the most popular areas within a certain region in which their target audience pertains to hang around. So, for example, if a large group of social media users using, say, for instance, Twitter, if they were using this service around a certain mall, basically companies would pick up that this area is quite a popular area, we should put more advertisements and more marketing that pertains to that audience. So they would do that rather than market their certain brands at a certain area that doesn't feature as many people within that geographical area. We will now show you a live demonstration of one of the programs that are used to monitor Twitter activity in a certain area based on Android, iPhone, Windows, and basically other phone companies.
All right, so all of this information for what? Companies are looking to see where, how and where they can make a profit based on you. Then there are some risks having your information stored online, where you can have hackers steal your information and can pose a threat to identity theft. As well as employment agencies can look past the resume and interviews to see more information about you online.
So like we said, companies are always looking to make a profit off of you. Sponsored ads are basically a way of doing this, where companies will monitor your previous browsing history and take interest on what websites you've gone on previously, such as Newegg or Amazon. Say, for instance, you've gone online shopping and you were particularly interested in a product that was being sold off of Newegg or Amazon. They will keep track of that history. And say, for instance, you didn't want to buy it at that time. If you were to log on to Facebook and check, you would see that basically there is a sponsored ad from Facebook showing you the product that you just visited, or even any of the products that you visited online that day.
All right, so here we present you with a case. So companies created social media platforms. Approximately 2 billion users on Facebook, 330 million on Twitter, 255 million on Snapchat, 700 million on Instagram, etc. These companies sell profile information to businesses for targeted advertisement. Adverts will be placed on users' social media for extra sales. Are the companies morally wrong for doing this? So with this case, we shall take a look at them from different ethical standpoints using these ethical applications. Utilitarianism, Kant, and Locke's.
So in terms of utilitarianism, we have two types basically. We have act utilitarianism, which applies to individual actions. An action is right or wrong to the extent that it increases or decreases the total happiness of the affected parties, which benefits society as a whole. We also have rule utilitarianism, applies to moral rules and laws. Basically, we agree on moral rules that, if followed by society as a whole, will lead to the greatest increase in total happiness. In terms of this case, we will only be referring to act utilitarianism. Okay, so act utilitarianism in case one. Social media has a vast number of users, and they are all happy, or well, they should be. Every single user is at risk of having their information being sold, or being exposed to targeted advertising. The act of selling this information in return for companies to make money is morally wrong. Since the number of happy users cannot outweigh the number of users at risk, therefore it is morally wrong for social media companies to sell user information. Do you agree with this?
So another ethical theory that we are going to apply is Kant. Kant has two categorical imperatives, version 1 and version 2. In version 1, we should follow rules of behavior that we can universally apply to everyone, whereas version 2 is don't use people. Don't use people as a way to get something. Kant and case 1. Using Kant's categorical version 1, if everyone sold everyone's information for their own benefit, no one's information is private anymore. This is unacceptable and therefore morally wrong. Using the version 2 states that you should not use people to your own gain. In this case, social media companies are marketing users' information for their own financial gain, which in turn is morally wrong, and these companies are responsible. Is this correct?
So John Locke believes in the following principles. The tabula rasa states that we are all born without knowledge. We learn knowledge from our experiences and from our senses. He also believed in something called the state of nature. All men are created equal. All humans have a right to life, liberty, and property. And each person owns their body and labor, and whatever they mix their labor into. So in terms of John Locke in case 1, the state of nature declares that we have equal rights to whatever we may mix our own labor into. In terms of our social media presence online, it should belong to us, and solely to us. Basically, we decided to put ourselves online. Therefore, we deserve to keep our information private, and should choose what information is shared with the rest of the world and what isn't. All humans have a right to property, and we should have a right to our own information.
Alright, so some solutions to case 1. Having laws in place to govern sanctioned advertisements without tracking the actual cyber footprint of the user. Also, having an option to block advertisement based on what the user is attracted to online, as well as requiring permission from the users on what information can be published.
So far we have talked about how surveillance is basically a negative feature that has been implemented in our society. However, we have not talked about how surveillance can be a positive influence in our society, especially for our own protection. Certain software nowadays has been created and can be used to track social media feeds and monitor suspicious behavior in local areas. This software is included such as Geophidia, which is used by law enforcement to monitor suspicious posts and suspicious activity that happens online. We will show you a video that basically shows how Geophidia is used and how it can be implemented to track suspicious behavior online.
Social media monitoring program helps police track protesters. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, police have been using a social media monitoring program called Geophidia to track protests and target minorities. The ACLU obtained emails between Geophidia and law enforcement, which mention the Ferguson situation and how to stay ahead of rioters. Geophidia is a social media monitoring program that utilizes APIs obtained from sites including Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Data obtained by Geophidia come from user posts that are public and include their location. Geophidia subscribers can search for social media posts by location, by inputting an address, or drawing parameters on a map. Subscribers can further narrow their search results by including key terms or phrases. Geophidia also is able to analyze the content data it receives, which makes it useful for clients like law enforcement. If a person attends a protest or rally and posts a public photo with the location tagged, this would be recorded in Geophidia's database. If the person were to write that they were photo-bombed at said rally, Geophidia would categorize the content as non-threatening. But if the person were to comment that they were going to set off a bomb, Geophidia would flag this as a threat. This makes the program useful to law enforcement, which can use it to predict potential threats. Since the ACLU's report was released, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram have restricted Geophidia's access to data.
So there are even bigger softwares which go even more in depth, such as EchoSec, Foursquare, and Statigram, which are used by the police and even other third-party users to monitor feeds on a wide-scale basis. So not only do law enforcement use these programs, however, hackers may also implement the use of these programs for their own benefit. We'll show just how scary some of these softwares are in the following video, which shows the use of EchoSec in a certain localized area.
Hello everybody and welcome to EchoSec Pro, getting started with EchoSec Pro's webinar. My name is David Morgan and I'm on the sales team here at EchoSec, and I'm going to be taking you through at a very high level what it is EchoSec Pro can do for you, how we can deliver value to your organization, and the new ways that we allow our clients to search through social media. At a high level, EchoSec Pro is a social media search engine, which means we allow our users to search through social media in a number of different ways. We allow you to search through the common ways, which are by keyword and by hashtag and by username. But now we're offering our users the power to search by location. So what our users can do is type in any location, and this is headquarters here for EchoSec in Victoria, BC. And as you can see, we've just basically drawn a box on the map, and we're seeing social media return from a number of different platforms. We're accessing about 9 or 10 platforms, and we're aggregating all of this data into one window, one easy to view area. You can zoom in, apply filters to this data, and access it all at once in real time. You can see that these posts are coming in the matter of minutes ago, and they do come in by the second as you conduct your searches. So once you've conducted a search by location, you can scroll through all of your results on the screen. Each dot on the map here corresponds to a post here on the left. So for example, this social media post came from here. Looks like a kite along the water. And once you've started with this location search, you can actually dive in and do a user search. Let's say this is a post of interest or perhaps a user of interest. With one click, now we're going to be searching for this individual's Instagram account. And as results come through here, we're going to be able to visualize their digital footprint, enabling you to track these users across space and time and view their account. Beyond this, we can allow you to with one click, move in and visit their Instagram page, where you can often find more information. So now we're seeing a full name from this username. We can see that he's from Victoria or Sydney or somewhere in British Columbia, and he has a website too.
All right, so here we come on to identity theft. Hackers could use these softwares and will look for potential accounts to take control of and use for their own intentions. Here we have a video of an example of identity theft.
I was horrified. Like many people, Michael Benz of Fairfax, Virginia had a Facebook page. But unlike most, he deleted it. At least he thought he did.
A friend of mine, asked me, why didn't you let me know you were back on Facebook? I said, I'm not on Facebook. What are you talking about? I closed it in 2008.
But when Benz went on his computer, his Facebook page was in fact back up and running 5 years after he deleted it.
I immediately realized that my online identity had been hijacked.
Back on Facebook, pictures of Benz and his family, even his dog. But that's not all. The likes on his Facebook page now supported anti-American groups, terrorism, Islamic extremists, and Ukrainian-influenced government resistance groups.
I felt sick to my stomach.
What would his family and friends think? And could this hijacked page cost him his employment security clearance? Needing the security clearance was the very reason he deleted his Facebook page in the first place.
The problem is he or somebody else may go through the steps to delete information and no longer have an account. But that information, initially, when it was posted online, takes on a life of its own.
Stephen Toperoff is an attorney with the Federal Trade Commission.
There are hackers online. So you might not even be online, and somebody could create a fictitious profile posing as you.
Ben said he immediately tried to contact Facebook. After filing 4 separate online reports, he didn't hear back, so he contacted the FBI.
I don't know if you can ever really delete it for good.
Trent Tima is a special agent for the cyber branch of the FBI.
Too much information about you online actually will work against you. Be careful about personal identifying information. Be careful of pictures about you that identify where you live, where you work, what you do, because that may send you up to become a victim.
The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, known as IC3, handled Benz's case, and within hours his hijacked Facebook page was taken down. So why didn't Facebook respond to Benz's request for help? Facebook told us, we offer email support for Facebook. We continue to explore new options and additional resources to reduce response times. And how did Ben's deleted account get hijacked? Facebook says users can request to permanently delete their account. There will be a 14-day processing period. If the account is accessed for any reason, the deletion process will be canceled and the account will be left active. Facebook went on to say it speculates Benz's account was phished during that 2-week processing period, meaning a bogus message or link compromised Benz's account.
The bottom line is that somebody really could destroy your life, breaking into your Facebook account and pretending to be you.
So now we'll move on to case 2. Companies created social media surveillance softwares. Law enforcement are now using social media as a source of information about users in search for criminal or intended criminal behavior. They are investigating any potential threats such as acts of terrorism or even mass shootings to protect the community. These softwares may fall into the hands of hackers who wish to use them for their own evil intentions. So the case now is, should these softwares exist, and are companies wrong for creating them? Utilitarianism in case 2. Surveillance software companies are creating this software for public use. Companies do not put a restriction on who can obtain their software. Basically, these companies will sell their software for a certain amount of money a month, and whoever has the money can purchase any of these softwares and use them however they may like to. Police use this for the safety of the public. However, hackers use this for stalking and other nefarious reasons. Utilitarianism follows the greater good for the greatest amount of people. So with respect to this concept, this product is doing more good than bad by protecting the masses. Is this right? And should software like this exist in the first place, as well as be open to the public?
Alright, so Kant and case 2. By Kant's categorical imperative version 1, if everyone downloaded this software and used them for stalking or self-benefit, no one would be safe. This is not the way society should be, therefore it's morally wrong to use this software, and the companies are responsible for creating and distributing this software. With categorical imperative version 2, companies are using people's information as a resource that their software can gain access to, then selling this program for their own financial gain, which is wrong. Overall, this is immorally wrong, and the companies are responsible for what their software are used for. Is this true? So case 2, solutions as a computer scientist. Having laws in place that govern privacy of an individual protect the user from external attacks. Requesting permission from the users to release their information to external parties gives them an option to reveal their information to the public or to keep it private. And finally, giving a chance to notify users of their information being accessed without their permission.
In conclusion, surveillance online has its benefits as a way of protecting us from external attacks and criminal behavior. However, this comes with a risk. Being monitored based on the law would not be the only group monitoring us. Our information may be taken by third-party organizations, by sale, or even illegal surveillance. It is up to us to determine whether or not we benefit as a whole from the protection or are put at risk as a whole by the constant monitoring.